Hello students, very pleasant welcome to you all in my class, that is class of accountancy of class 12. In the previous classes, students, we were dealing about the concept and phenomena of debenture and its relative accounting treatment also. In the previous classes, we have dealt about the practical questions, practical accounting treatment regarding the issue of debenture, and we have treated the accounting trade with the help of example also. And with the continuing the same topic, we are going to continue the various variations in the due and receiving today, where we will deal with the accounting treatment of uh, discount, premium, you can say calls in arrear, calls in advance. These all things are also took place while the company deals with the debentures and shares and raising so many funds with the help of that. And when we talk about these all, we have to know that what are the variations took place when the company raises fund with the help of borrowed fund, or you can say equity fund. And while dealing with these, we came to know that how the accounting treatment of these variation could also take place, as well as the previous concept taking place in the same manner. And now we will start the accounting treatment of these variation, and also try to know that how and when these variation took place, and what are the effects of these variations in the books of accounting and over the companies also. So now let's deal with these variations. Okay. So as we know that the transaction of the company, that the transaction of the company for raising fund, either it means borrowed fund or it may owners fund, that doesn't matter. It may be widely categorized under two categories, that is first one is due and second one is received. As we know that in the case of due, company makes some demand to pay the interested capital by the investors, and as the response of demand, the company receive the collection from the general public, and which is recorded in the entry of receipt. And when we talk about the variations that took place in these entries of due and receipt, these may categorize in three categories. As we know that the actual variation in any case are widely categorized in three categories. First one, when the situation is very normal and as per the expectation, there is no variation took place, and in that case, the no variation will be the subject matter of accounting also. And as per the previous accounting treatment, whatever we have dealt with the previous accounting treatment will be implied, will be implemented as well as in the previous manner. Okay, so now let's talk about what the accounting treatment of these variation and how these variation took place. Now before starting the variations of due and receive, we should know that in any kind of variation, the widely variation could categorize in three categories. First one, when everything is normal. Second one, when something goes negatively as per the expectation, and when something goes positively as per the expectation, moreover as per the expectation. Okay, so the main thing, the same thing is also exist in the case of due and receive also. When we talk about due, it can be categorized in three categories. When the MRP is equals to issued price, it is known as issued at par. Par means equal. Okay, and when the par exists in the condition in the form, when any document are issued at par, that means the accounting treatment of that particular transaction do not bring any change. ठीक है. अगर हम par paid debenture को इशू कर रहे हैं, it means debenture should not bring any change in the accounting treatment. Okay, and when we talk about the condition when MRP is higher than the issue price, okay, it means what? It means the share or debenture or whatever the document are issued at discount, and such discount will be debited in the entry of due. Will be debited in the entry of due, and the main thing that is noted: no change in receiving entry. रिसीविंग की एंट्री में हम कोई भी चेंज नहीं लेंगे, ठीक है। When the third condition took place where the MRP is lesser than the issued price, it means issued documents are issued at premium, and this premium should be credited in the entry of due. Moreover, there should not be any change in the journal entry of receiving. Okay, and a very important thing that the amounts that is related with these transactions will be changed. As I said that there is no change in the entry, but amount will be reduced or increased as per the effect. As we know that the transaction is issued at discount, it will be reduced, and as well as if the transaction is issued at premium, it will be increased. Okay, so this was the transaction and accounting treatment of the debenture regarding the variation in due. Okay, when we talk about the other aspect, that is the due, that is the receiving, there the same thing also happens. The differences took place as following, where the receiving could also categorize under few categories: first, second and third. Okay, when the actual receiving meet the expectation or change as the expectation, these expectation and meeting are categorized under three categories. When the demand is equals to receive, it means par collection. Par collection means collection without any change, and if the collection without any change, that means no change is needed in the entry of receipt, and the due entry will also remain same. Okay, but when we talk about the other two conditions, where initially the due is higher than the receipt, it means some of the debenture holders, some of the investors do not pay and company had not collected the amount expected from them. In that case, the situation that took place in the books of account is simply called as calls in arrears, and this calls in arrears should be debited in the books of account, but only in the receiving entry, and this receiving entry will be effect in the amount of due, will not be affect the amount of due. Okay, and when we talk about the other condition, when the due is lesser than receipt, this condition is also known as calls in advance. Such calls in advance is basically a liability for the company, and ultimately when we talk about the immediate response, it will be credited in the entry of receive when the amount of next transaction is collected. And the same thing, the very important thing and the common thing in all these three transactions, no change will took place in journal entry of due, and either it is amount of transaction, either it is treatment of transaction. There should not be any change, there should not be any variation that took place in the books of company, and that is why there is only the accounting treatment regarding the issue of debenture, regarding the variation. Okay, let's sum up all these. एक बार फिर से समझने की कोशिश करते हैं. हमारी जो कंपनी है उनके जितने भी ट्रांजैक्शंस होते हैं, उन ट्रांजैक्शन को हम दो कैटेगरीज में बांटते हैं. पहला ड्यू और रिसीव. दूसरा, जब हम ड्यू की बात करें तो हमें तीन कंडीशन देखने को मिल सकती हैं. पहली, एक वो कंडीशन जब हमारी कंपनी की एमआरपी जो है हमारे डॉक्यूमेंट की इशूड प्राइस को मैच करती है. ठीक है, तो ऐसी कंडीशन में कंपनी जो है हमारे डिवेंचर को पार पे इशू करती है, हमारे डॉक्यूमेंट को पार पे इशू करती है. और इस कंडीशन में देयर इज नो चेंज इन द जर्नल एंट्री. जर्नल एंट्री जो हमने पढ़ रखी थी ड्यू की, वही जर्नल एंट्री होगी. जो भी डिवेंचर का ट्रांजैक्शन है वो डेबिट होगा, और अल्टीमेटली X% डिवेंचर जो है वो क्रेडिट हो जाएगा. ठीक है, ये एंट्री जैसे ही हमारी कंप्लीट होती है, इसके बाद हम कह सकते हैं दैट इशू एट पार हैज बीन करेक्टली रिकॉर्डेड. ठीक है, ये जो अकाउंटिंग ट्रीटमेंट है वो ड्यू की होगी और रिसीविंग रिमेन सेम अगेन. ठीक है, इसके बाद जब हम बात करें इशूड एट डिस्काउंट की, तो डिस्काउंट में हमें ये देखने को मिलता है कि दैट डिस्काउंट इज अ लॉस फॉर द कंपनी, and that is why it should be debited in the due entry only. And the notable thing that there is no change in the receiving entry. receiving की entry में कोई चेंज नहीं होता है except the amount या तो इंक्रीज हो जाएगी या तो डिक्रीज हो जाएगी. डिस्काउंट के केस में अमाउंट को हम लेस कर देते हैं. ठीक है, और जब हम बात करते हैं प्रीमियम की, सिक्योरिटी प्रीमियम रिजर्व की, तो सिक्योरिटी प्रीमियम रिजर्व जो है ड्यू की एंट्री में क्रेडिट हो जाता है. और इसके साथ साथ अगर हम रिसीविंग की एंट्री की बात करें तो एक्सेप्ट अमाउंट विच विल इंक्रीज विद द इफेक्ट ऑफ प्रीमियम, देयर इज नो चेंज इन द अकाउंटिंग ट्रीटमेंट ऑफ द रिसीविंग एंट्री. ठीक है, रिसीविंग एंट्री में कोई भी चेंज नहीं होता है. इसके बाद ये बात तो हुई हमारे ड्यू की. ड्यू के बाद जब हम रिसीविंग की बात करते हैं तो रिसीविंग की बात जो है हम लोगों ने की कि तीन कंडीशन हम देख सकते हैं. व्हेन द एक्सपेक्टेड अमाउंट इज रियल मीट विद द रियल अमाउंट एक्वायर्ड, और ये जो कंडीशन है इसको बोलते हैं पार कलेक्शन. पार कलेक्शन में देयर इज नो चेंज इज रिक्वायर्ड इन द बुक्स ऑफ कंपनी व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट द रिसीविंग एंट्री. और इसके बाद दूसरी कंडीशन बनती है हमारी, ये जो हमारी थी पहली कंडीशन. दूसरी कंडीशन हमारी बनती है कि जब कंपनी जो है डिमांड ज़्यादा करती है लेकिन रिसीविंग कम की होती है. ठीक है, जैसे अगर हमने एप्लीकेशन का भी पैसा मांग रखा है, अलॉटमेंट का भी पैसा मांग रखा है, और साथ ही साथ कॉल्स का भी पैसा मांग रखा है, तो इसमें से कंपनी को सपोज केवल एप्लीकेशन और अलॉटमेंट का पैसा मिलता है, दैट इज नोन एज कॉल्स इन एरियर, यानी कि हमने कॉल्स का पैसा अभी कलेक्ट नहीं किया है. Meanwhile, when we talk about the calls in advance, suppose the company has demanded only the allotment and application application amount and the extra amount has been collected for calls also. That is known as calls in advance. It should be credited in the books of company. Okay, and the most notable thing that there is no change in the condition of recording the treatment of due. जब भी ड्यू की ट्रीटमेंट करेंगे तो ड्यू में कहीं कोई चेंजिंग नहीं होगी, ना ही किसी अमाउंट में, ना ही किसी अकाउंटिंग ट्रीटमेंट में. होप द कॉन्सेप्ट इज वेरी मच क्लियर टू यू. अब इसकी एक प्रैक्टिकल इम्प्लीमेंटेशन देख लेते हैं हम. लेट्स टेक एन एग्जांपल रिगार्डिंग दैट. सपोज द क्वेश्चन इज गिवन टू यू दैट अ कंपनी XYZ issue 10,000 debentures of 100 each payable as 20, 40, 30 and 20. 20 on application, 40 on allotment, 30 on first call and 20 on second and final call. When we see this question, we immediately came to know that the value of the share should be 100 and the sum total which we are collecting here, that is 40 plus 60, 90 plus 30, that is 40 plus 20, 60 plus 30, 90 plus 20, 110, and the amount actually we are collecting, that is 110. What is the amount to be collected? That is 100. And we know that the situation when the issued price is the greater than MRP, it means the situation that is taking place in the question, which is security premium, and it should be credited in the entry of due. But the notable point is here that where this premium is included, it is not specified, and in that case we will consider this extra amount in the allotment, that is 30 plus 10. Okay, this is the actual distribution of amount. This 10 rupees is the amount of premium, and the main amount, the core amount which we are collecting on allotment, that is 30. Okay, and you are required that you are saying that pass journal entries in the books of company. In the books of company. And when we talk about the journal entry, we are expected to record the transaction in the format. And when we talk about the solution, in the solution initially we have to draw the format of journal, which is very much known to all of us, where the initial column is date, and then particular, and then ledger folio, and then amount debit, amount credit. This was the format of the journal. Okay, when we follow this format, what we have to do, we have to make sure that the sequence is following as per RD, DR or not, है ना. हमें RD, DR का फॉर्मेट फॉलो करना है. ये होगा हमारा एप्लीकेशन, ये होगा हमारा अलॉटमेंट, और ये होगी हमारी कॉल. ठीक है. अब इस सीक्वेंस को जब हम फॉलो करते हुए एंट्रीज पे आते हैं, तो एंट्रीज में हमें देखने को मिलेगा दैट बैंक अकाउंट डेबिट टू सपोज दैट 10% डिवेंचर इज इशू, है ना. तो 10% डिवेंचर एप्लीकेशन, If we want to know the rate of application, rate of interest, then we may. If you do not want to retain the rate, then do not record the rate. Whatever the amount will be made as per the basis of number of debenture multiplied by price of application. Okay, that is simply 20. When we multiply both of these, we found the value of 2 lakh, and will be the same value for receiving entry or credit entry also. And when we talk about due entry, debenture application account debit to 10% debenture account, and the amount will be very same, that is 2 lakh multiplied by in both sides. And after that, when we talk about the receiving due entry of allotment, so 10% debenture allotment account debit, and as per the previous format, the security premium will be credited in the entry of due, and in the very same manner the entry of 10% debenture will also recorded, and the value will be determined with the help of number of debenture multiplied by value of transaction. Here the notable point is that on allotment we are totally collecting the 40 rupees, out of which 30 rupees is of allotment and 10 rupees is of transaction, and that is why the entire amount that is to be collected is 40, and the value should be posted here as it is 4 lakh on debenture allotment, 1 lakh on FTR, and 3 lakh on debenture allotment. When we talk about the receiving entry, it will be remain same as, suppose these entries are allotted in a sequence, and in the same sequence when we talk about the entries of receiving entry of allotment, it will not bring any change except the amount. Bank account will be debited with the 10% debenture allotment account, and the amount will be 4 lakh. Okay, that is why I said there should not be any change in the journal entry. As we know, the journal entry of receiving is bank account debit transaction, and the same entry is given here before you, and that is why there should not be any change in the journal entry. And when we talk about the receiving due entry of calls, that is debenture calls account debit to X% or whatever the percent of rate is given, that is 10% debenture, and this 10% will be valued at 10,000 multiplied by 20. Okay, sorry, multiplied by 30 because we are talking about the first call. Okay, and the value will be 3 lakh. Okay, and if we talk about the receiving entry, bank account will be debited to the debenture first call account. Okay, the amount will be very same, that is 3 lakh. And when we talk about the due entry of second and final call, it will also remain same as with rupees 10,000 multiplied by 20, that is 2 lakh, and such 2 lakh will be calculated as on the basis of the number of debenture and the price of transaction, where the entry will be remain same as the first call. Okay, as you said, as we saw that debenture first second call और अकाउंट डेबिट टू डेबिचर अकाउंट अमाउंट हो जाएगी हमारी 2 लाख रुपए, ठीक है। और जब रिसीविंग की एंट्री करेंगे हम इसके, तो बैंक अकाउंट डेबिट टू डेबिचर सेकंड एंड फाइनल कॉल और अमाउंट हमारी वही 2 लाख रुपए एज इट इज पोस्ट हो जाएगी, एज इट इज रिकॉर्ड हो जाएगी। दिस वाज द अकाउंटिंग ट्रीटमेंट ऑफ द शेयर डिवेंचर इशूड एट प्रीमियम। इसी तरीके से अगर डिस्काउंट होता है तो ये जैसे यहाँ पर हमने प्रीमियम को क्रेडिट किया है, इस प्रीमियम को क्रेडिट के बजाय डिस्काउंट में डेबिट कर देंगे, रिमेन ऑल द थिंग्स विल बी सेम। I hope the concept is very much clear to you all, and in the next class we will deal a practical example of calls in arrear and calls in advance. So thank you very much student, thanks to all.